Cancer, welcome to your 2015 forecast, and I appreciate you stopping by and listening to this video that is about the message for you for 2015 and the overarching message. So there's a larger picture and then all these little instructions of how to achieve what it is that you want. And the larger picture is an insight that you have about how other people in your life, I want to say change you, or how you are changed, how you transform by being with someone. So if you've been with somebody for 1 year or 10 years or 20 years, the question can come up is like, would my life be different if I wasn't with that person? Or you may meet somebody new and think that if I spend the next 5, 10, 15 years with this person, how different would my life be if I wasn't with them? So there is an overarching thought that comes in with the beginning of this year and how you will be, how you'll be perceived in the world and how you will live. Is also about how you will live. That's a quiet energy, like deep in your gut. One that is more obvious has to do with finances and spending money. And am I spending more than I feel comfortable with? Am I spending, or am I holding on too tight? So there's this back and forth about feeling comfortable with purchasing and really being able to experience the life you want. And sometimes taking the checkbook or the credit card out is part of that. But it is suggesting to keep things in balance, and that there may be, with Mars in Aquarius over here, there may be some energy or effort or even argumentation, whether with yourself or somebody else, about whether or not you feel things are in balance between what you're giving out and what you're giving in. And one of the reasons why this financial part begins the new year is the moon is in Taurus, but it's connected with a symbol of feeling either let down, and is in a part of your chart, it's in a part of your world that means there could be something with people around you, friends or acquaintances, that, do you feel that they live up to what you give to them, or do you feel let down by them? But as the year moves on, we have, so this is when the sun enters Cancer. I'm using this as your personal the inner chart, and then we're going to look at all the energies that the universe is suggesting around you, and this is that are in play, that are focused. And one of the loudest messenger is always Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of the messenger, and Mercury goes retrograde 3 times during 2015. And think about what you want to create for yourself, for your life, your whole life, and also specifically for 2015. Where Mercury goes retrograde, it will give you like these little instructions. Hey, think about this. The first place it's going retrograde, and this was started with the new year, Mercury goes retrograde on January 21st in Aquarius, asking you to think again and question, is my life in balance from what I give out to other people and what I receive? And this can be specific to friends or acquaintances. Like you could have a particular acquaintance, even family member or friend. Am I giving out and receiving? Does it feel equal? And then on another level, this give and take is suggesting, hey, if there's something that I want to do, something I want to create, I don't have to know it all. I don't have to have everything. Where can I go and get information? Because in Aquarius, it's an information energy. sometimes, you could go get something from somebody else and you're literally borrowing, you're borrowing somebody's, I don't know, lawnmower, or you're borrowing somebody's computer, although computer is information gather instrument. So it's not necessarily that you're borrowing a physical, where you can go and get a physical object to help you. It's more about information and knowledge. And so what you want, what knowledge do I need? And then the second Mercury retrograde is in May 18th. And that is in Gemini. And that, again, is about information and knowledge. But both of these places where it's going retrograde are on an intuitive level. So not only is this information, it's like, okay, where can I go get information that I don't have to own it? I can go to the library. A friend knows somebody who knows a friend. They can help me. They've done this before. They know how to do it. But in May, it's also suggesting listening to your own intuition and getting information from meditation, from your dreams, you could be in a shower and get that insight. And then the third place where information can come that will support you is in Libra, and that happens September 17th when Mercury goes retrograde at the third time in 2015. And that is going, again, retrograde in a place of deep intuition and connecting with the psychology of your own being. So why? If there's anything that feels as if it's stopping you from something, then it's saying connect with the psychology of your own being and understand the emotional response and be able to release that and let go of that. And part of that is showing up as family dynamics, anything that might have to do with family conditioning or family training or early childhood training. Then the other main place that you look at for information on what's going to happen for me in 2015 are the solar and lunar eclipses. The first solar eclipse is March 20th at 29 degrees of Pisces. That's the very last day of Pisces. And that energy is the beginning of a series of eclipses that is going to be impacting what do I need to know? And it's learning something else that gives the big picture for the larger career. Now, the next solar eclipse, which happens in September, is in Virgo. And that solar eclipse is going to suggest that there will be something that you will be learning that you can use on a day-to-day basis. So the first solar eclipse in March is saying, let me look at the big picture of life. What do I want to know? What do I learn? How do I believe? What do I think about these things? It also can inspire you to think about going back to school, or, depending where you are in life, or just wanting to experience more of life and challenging yourself and breaking out of an old way of being and challenging yourself to something new and different. And then the next solar eclipse in September 13th, is about learning little things that support your day-to-day life. So if what you want is a different job, then it would be, well, what are the things that I can go into that is skill, specific skill that I can use on a day-to-day basis for that job that I want. And there is, in between, we have the lunar eclipse. So the lunar eclipse on April 4th is finishing up a series of eclipses that you've just gone through, which have been suggesting to look at with what you're doing with your life. Is it what you really want to do? And if the answer is yes, fine. If the answer is no, then this is the year where you can be making some changes. It also, if you like, and if you know that you're good at what you do, then this lunar eclipse in April 4th, what can show up is there's an opportunity around job, there's an opportunity around what you're doing where it's very exciting. There could be a lot to do. And the question of balancing between being able to go home and rejuvenate your home life and your work life or professional life will be in balance. There's a lot of very strong energy at that time, and you can get a little bit rattled, so you want to do whatever you can to stay centered. Now, the other major energy that's happening this year, 2015, is Venus is going to go retrograde. She only goes retrograde every couple of years. All the other outer planets, they go retrograde every year, which is a very important time. Jupiter will go direct on April 8th, which is very close to that lunar eclipse. It goes direct in Leo, which is part of that energy that started out the year with, 2015 with, about wanting to have in your life the things around you that make life enjoyable. And that's why it's connected to spending money. But it's really about being able to expand a feeling of feeling prosperous and abundant and comfortable. Now, it also means that there's opportunity to expand your own talents, right? Your own talents, your own personal gifts. And to take, to really take this year as an opportunity to connect with your inner confidence of, I can do this. I can do what I set my mind to do. I can do this. And yes, you might need to develop it. Yes, you might need to spend some money in order to have the instruments necessary or the training necessary to develop that talent, but you can do that. Now, when Venus goes retrograde on July 25th, that she's going retrograde from 0 degrees of Virgo, and she goes back into Leo. So she's going to be spending a lot of time in this sector that says build your confidence and develop your own personal talents. And developing your own personal talents, you will develop your prosperity and your abundance and your happiness and your joy to have what you want, life fulfilled. Now, Jupiter is going into Virgo on August 11th and will move out of that house that represents that's developing your personal talents and your financial prosperity part of life. So please, allow the universe to help you, but you have to do your part. Now, with Jupiter going into Virgo is fine, as that's where the eclipses are switching over into that Virgo sector. Remember, September 17th, we had the solar eclipse in Virgo, and that is what are the little things that I need to learn that support me in day-to-day life? Is there, if I want a certain job, what kind of mechanical things would I be using in that profession? If I want to develop a hobby, what do I need to learn in order to be able to create something? So pay attention to that also. And then the other major influences that we have during the year, like I said, you got this big umbrella about looking at who am I with in life, and would I be different, and how would I be different if I wasn't with them, and how do people transform me, and what changes do I want in my own personal life of what I'm doing, what I'm creating, and connecting with my intuitive side to get information to develop my talents. And the major global energy we have is the Uranus square Pluto, which is part of that factor. And we also have Jupiter will be opposing Neptune on September 17th. Now, Jupiter, Neptune, that energy is, here's Neptune. See, Neptune only travels from 9 degrees to 7 degrees, so it takes a long time to go to move. But when the planets make these exact energies, there's this message here. And Jupiter, Neptune is expanding your dreams, right? But the shadow side of this is not being grounded, to only be in the dream world. Well, maybe someday, maybe this, maybe that. It's really important to dream big and not let anybody tell you can't do something. That expansion, your message, expand your talents, believe in yourself, do it, learn what you need to learn. But not to get to a point where it's just a pipe dream. Because if it doesn't have the grounding of what is it that I need to learn and actually doing that, then what happens by the end of the year when Saturn squares Neptune, which is it's exact on November 26th, but we'll feel the vibe of this for November and December. What would happen is that the shadow side of Saturn Neptune is, oh man, I feel disappointed in my dreams, or my dreams have let me down. But the truth of Saturn Neptune is to put form to your dreams. And remember, if you've been following the other videos that I do, Saturn has gone into a place of your chart. It's in Sagittarius now, and it's gone into a place of your chart that says get your daily life in order, to take care of the routines of life, including what needs to be done, so you have freedom in your life. Don't let everything pile up and then feel that, oh, my weekend's gone, I can't do anything I want to do because I let everything piled up. Create a system, create something in order, create a routine, and that will free you up. Have a fabulous 2015. I appreciate you being a subscriber and sharing.